Hey everybody, it's Ben and Rob from Edge of Wonder. Have you seen the Las Vegas sensation, the sphere that's totally astonishing crowds? This thing is like an IMAX on steroids, and the 18,000 plus seat auditorium's immersive experience is the most expensive entertainment venue in Las Vegas history. Think about that for a second. A bunch of celebrities just went to a U2 concert that was held there, and it looked pretty crazy.
Yeah, it did. And speaking of celebrities, it seems like a lot are being used to push large leaps in technology. Would you want to interact with a chatbot character, maybe like Tom Brady, Kendall Jenner, or Snoop Dogg? Although Snoop Dogg might be kind of cool. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe.
When it comes to Matrix-like technology, stranger and stranger capabilities are being rolled out to the public every day. Will an AI Nostradamus be able to predict the future? We'll be talking about that. Will Tesla's or NASA's lifelike robots walk among us or build us houses on the moon or in lava tubes? We'll talk about that too.
Yeah, so join us on this Edge of Wonder episode as we discuss all of this, plus our Rise.tv exclusive segments, a live Q&A and a meditation/prayer. So with that, we'll see you guys out
on the edge.
And if you're listening to our Edge of Wonder podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or elsewhere, please leave us a 5-star rating and review. And also, please remember to like, share, and comment, and follow us on YouTube, Rumble, Ganjing World, Twitter, wherever you're watching.
And hey, if you're watching us for the first time, please don't judge us because of Ben's shirt.
You know, just thought I'd be a little, I don't know,
like 1990.
1990, totally 1990.
Yeah. You belong in that movie House Party. For sure.
I think the other one I have is a little better. So how you doing, Rob?
Pretty good. I'm kind of hungry for Doritos for some reason. Might be your shirt.
Maybe could be the shirt. Yeah, I think there's looks like a Dorito somewhere on there.
There's a little Dorito like right under your left arm there. Yeah, there it is. That's a Cool Ranch Dorito. No. On the shirt.
Oh, on, yeah.
You gotta open it up a little bit. There it is. Cool Ranch.
Oh, Dorito. Yeah. This thing here.
Yep, that's it.
That's a massive Dorito.
Massive Dorito.
There's something up there too.
We just spent way too long talking about Doritos.
And my shirt. Anyway. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, so this sphere thing is really weird.
I don't know what to think about. I mean, people that live there are not really very happy about this thing because it's just massively big and bright.
I want to put this into perspective for everyone. So earlier when we were researching how big this thing was, my first question was like, well, how big is it compared to the Statue of Liberty? Because that would give us some kind of like idea of how large this thing is. And for those of you at home, this thing is 366 feet high, which is about 60 feet taller than the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, it's insane.
The Statue of Liberty is not small, people. I mean, look at this thing. Like, it looks like you're in...
So that's inside of it, yeah. Yeah. I didn't realize until they had this U2 concert that you could be inside of it. I was like, man, this thing is like really ugly. I didn't know it was like a venue inside of it. So, and it holds 18,000 people. That is crazy.
It's a lot. 18,000 is the size of a small, like, football field.
But
it's not small.
And that, I mean, it's kind of interesting because it makes you seem like you're somewhere else. Although I would think if they're like a performance, you would see them on the screen. That just eliminates the need for like regular screens. And if that's the case, I mean, that is kind of interesting. This thing did cost $2.3 billion though.
So as soon as I heard that, I was like, there is no way that thing really cost $2.3 billion. Like, I could make that thing for 125 grand. It just wouldn't look that great.
So what is so it has 4D physical effects. I guess it means that it's like you don't need 3D glasses. It just kind of naturally
on that thing.
has this. Yeah, in 16K resolution.
Somebody had to pocket this thing.
That's the only thing I can think of. It's
And the tickets for a
580,000.
$2.3 billion auditorium, I guess you could say. $59 a ticket is not that much. How are they going to make this back?
So actually, I was just reading about this. They this year alone, they made like 480,000 or something like that, you know. And so because it just launched, right? So, or they just like opened it up. So the CEO, he's basically saying like this is kind of like a long-term plan. James Dolan is his name, the CEO of this company. The company is called Sphere Entertainment.
Sphere Entertainment, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like a branch off of Madison Square Garden Entertainment. And so this guy, James Dolan, he's been the CEO of the Madison Square Garden since like 1999. And they just formed this company, this side company, the Sphere Entertainment, in 2017. So I don't really know. My question is, I don't really know how they, I mean, I guess, you know, he probably has like massive investors that he has access to, but you know, it's just like, wow, the first project they built, they formed in 2017, and all of a sudden the first project they built was one of the most expensive entertainment things in the history of the US. I mean, it's definitely the history of Las Vegas, but I think you could probably say in the US as well. I can't imagine anything more expensive in the US like this.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive actually. It's 16K resolution wraparound interior LED screen. So 16K is extremely high res. Um yeah. Now, the first opening, like the opening, um
That looks so ominous.
it was a U2 concert is how they opened it. And this is where
Yeah.
it gets a little bit weird. So this U2 concert opens and Oprah, LeBron James, and Paul McCartney are among the star-studded audience that attended the concert. Um, like like the usual suspects. Like, why are
Yeah,
these?
I
It's
know.
just weird. It's a weird, like that particular,
Yeah.
like those particular people. It's a little bit odd just because of how much they're involved with already. Like,
Yeah. 100%.
yeah.
It's weird. And
But I
and
guess, it's like also, if you're opening this thing, it's $2.3 billion. You're trying to
get as many people.
creating a massive PR, event. You're trying to call in people that are going to get these journalists, salivating, I guess.
Well, and the goal for James is that this is the first one of many that they plan to open up across the US.
Yeah.
So I would think actually that if he could, he probably would
So
want
it's
to
like
turn.
IMAX or something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he probably would want to turn Madison Square Garden into the same thing. But you know, whether that's going to happen or not is a
Dude,
whole
there's
different
no way. They
issue.
would have to there was
I don't
no
think
room
so.
for that in Manhattan.
No, I mean, they've already destroyed the original Madison Square Garden, and so many people were upset about that to build
You
the
mean Penn
ugly.
Station?
Oh, well,
They
no, Madison Square Garden is Penn Station.
no, I know, but above Penn Station,
Yeah, above Penn
is a
Station.
beautiful like
Yeah,
train station that
yeah.
looked like Grand Central, maybe even nicer, and they
Mhm.
destroyed it and put Madison Square Garden there, right?
Yeah, yeah, they did. And they could have done it a very different way by keeping the original one. They were just like, "Oh, this is old. We'll just destroy it." And then so many people got upset about it. But what's most controversial about this James Dolan though is so they so at
Yes.
Madison Square Garden, he put in his facial recognition technology there. And what it's actually doing is looking for attorneys basically that are involved with lawsuits that are suing his companies. so so if an attorney shows up that's actually involved in a lawsuit against one of his companies or Madison Square Garden, it brings up some kind of notice, and they're unable to like go into the stadium or anything else. So
Yeah. Okay, so wait. So MSG Entertainment, which owns the arena alongside other venues like Radio City Music Hall, that's how big this group is.
Yes.
They've been sharply criticized in the past few months over its use of facial recognition technology, as Ben just said, to bar entry to attorneys working for firms involved in litigation against the company. All right, and then here, this is funny. On February 2nd, the New York State Bar Association announced it launched a group to examine the legal and ethical impacts of MSG Entertainment's policy and said it may consider taking further action. A law firm should be able to represent clients in a personal injury lawsuit, a dispute about concert tickets, or any other legal matter without fear of retribution, said Sherry Levin Wallach, I guess, the Bar Association president, in a statement. It's funny, though, just because, I don't know, if you're watching this and you're an attorney, probably this isn't about you, but attorneys are known to be pretty slimy, right? So it's like, it's kind of funny that this guy's like, I hate attorneys. They cost me a lot of money.
It is weird though that they can, well, I mean, it is weird that they just
got away with that.
That's what I mean. Like they have the facial recognition software that they can even do this.
Yeah.
But then it brings up a whole other question, like, can they take us a next step further and, not have certain people that they wouldn't want in?
Well, yeah, this is like, there's nothing ethical about this.
No,
it's like
definitely
we wouldn't
not.
want this same treatment in society, right? Or like
definitely not.
It's better not to do that. But it's almost like he's just the type of guy that likes to bust balls, apparently. he's just trying to bust.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely, I mean, they're trying to be the number one entertainment company in the world is really what I think their goal is. And that, it seems like this project is more of like I want to just show off and do build the most insane, craziest thing possible to show that we can do this. That's just kind of what it seems like. Like I said, on Twitter, people that live in the area are definitely not happy about it because it's just so massively big and bright.
Yeah.
And it adds even more to the light pollution that, Las Vegas is already known for.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's the other aspect of it too. And, so like this Sphere Entertainment, which is like a subsidy of the MSGE, which is Madison Square Garden. It's also, so the Dow Group Hospitality. So if you're familiar with New York City, there's a very famous restaurant called Dow. Have you ever been there, Rob? You know what I'm talking about? Okay. Yeah. So this group owns that. And I guess they had a lot of, I guess that was another group that was a part of the MSGE. Like there's a lot of different groups a part of this. And so they're selling that for $500 million to the Mahari Hospitality. And they're also like luxury lifestyle stuff. So
Mahari Hospitality is acquiring Dow Group. Is what you're saying?
Yes.
So this is enhancing its luxury portfolio.
Yes. Yeah. And it's, so they have, they don't so the Sphere Group, or I guess you could say the MSGE, they don't own completely the Dow Group Hospitality, but they have a massive majority share. So the shareholder for, as Sphere Entertainment, they hold most of the shares. So they're selling those shares, which is $500 million to the Mahari Group. So anyway, point is there's a lot of money involved here.
Yeah.
I don't really, it's, but I guess if you're talking about, Madison Square Garden and Radio Radio City Music Hall and whatnot. I mean, all this stuff in
They're
New York City. It's
massive
massive.
entertainment groups.
They do have a lot of money. So it's like, okay, I can see where this money comes from now. If you're like talking about the $2 billion that, you know, for their first, it's like, wow, their first big project ever, like $2 billion. So, I still don't really know how these things work. I guess they would have to go through the city, get permits, do all these things, but it's like, obviously the people didn't vote. I don't think the people of Las Vegas would like this, but then again, it is Las Vegas, and if you're choosing to live there, then I guess you're choosing.
How do you insure that thing?
Dude, I don't even know.
If people don't like it, they're going to be chucking stuff at it. It's going to be breaking parts of it. Then they have to get replaced. Replacing it costs a certain amount of money. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot.
Yeah, it is. I really don't know. That's been, you know, all of this stuff. And then, so I was looking into the top shareholders too of,
well, it's going to be the same groups that own anything.
Yeah. Vanguard, BlackRock, you know,
I mean, those guys just have a foot in everything.
Yeah. The Luxor Capital Group, you know, they're the ones that have the Luxor Hotel. It's kind of ironic. And then actually the number one shareholder is this Ariel Investments. And compared to Vanguard, they're very small, but they still own manage $15 billion in assets. But the CEO of, or the co-CEO of Ariel Investments is Melody Hobson. I don't know if you know who she is.
Yeah, that's George Lucas's wife, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
So she is the CEO of Ariel Investments. So they have over 5 million shares in the Sphere Entertainment. So
there she is. This is George Lucas's wife here. Melody, what's her name? Last name?
Hobson.
Hobson. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I forgot that they got married. Yeah, they got married in 2013.
Yeah, chairwoman of Starbucks Corporation. So she's a heavy hitter, this one.
It's very interesting.
Starbucks.
She was listed as number 94 in Forbes list of the world's most 100.
Her being this powerful, I'm actually really surprised Kathleen Kennedy is getting away with as much as she is at Disney, with her being as powerful as she is.
That's really,
she's like trying to rub things in George Lucas's face, and like,
yeah, she destroyed Star Wars.
Totally. And this woman is like, yo, that's my husband. Like, she's way more powerful than Kathleen. I mean, she's just as powerful, at least.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. It's so weird. That was weird.
Yeah. Was that your,
I'm having some issues with the lightsabers. That's why they're not on right now.
About Star Wars, that
all of a sudden it just like
remember me?
Just made a sound. That was kind of weird.
Okay. Yeah. So we should get into, wait, did we need to talk about this?
Well, so they're going to show the F1 races in the Sphere.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't really know exactly how this is all going to work, but
well, okay, here's what it says. It says it will begin with a replica of Gutenberg's printing press and take you through the creation of the metaverse and the development of AI. The visitor will be guided through this experience by animatronic robots that will utilize holographs, beam forming sound, and a 50-foot translucent video. They're debuting this tech in Vegas first because it's the ideal market to tap this unique content. And their goal is to have content at the Sphere 365 days a year. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's what they want to do. That's what I heard. And then it was like, I mean, it's already like showing all this weird stuff on top of it, but I guess they'll have like some kind of concert or event, you know. But I mean, they need to make their money back, I guess. But still, that's just like, Yeah, this was so weird. I
All
still
right.
can't get over the fact that the lightsaber
It,
made a sound right when we were talking about George Lucas.
no,
Having
who knows what else it's listening to? Ben's like, I bought a lightsaber, and the lightsaber's like, nah, dude, I gotta beaming everything back to China.
So hilarious.
All right, well, those of you at home watching us, we're going to take a break for a trailer, and when we get back, we're going to talk about all kinds of weird stuff with Meta. Meta's creating celebrity chatbots with celebrities and influencers, and then their new AI glasses have been on the news a lot too, and we're going to get into that. So stay tuned.
In this series, From Edge of Wonder, we dive into neural nets, sentient robots, gene editing technology, smart implants, programmable monkeys, evolution, and social manipulation. Is resistance futile? How can we rage against the machine?
Yeah. So, welcome back. That was our transhumanism series only on rise.tv. If you want a general overview of the entire history of transhumanism and the current transhumanism movement, you should check those out. Scary stuff.
Yeah, it is,
because we're not just talking about machinery here. We're also talking about biohacking and all kinds of different things that they're doing with human biology or organic biology, I guess you could say. Very interesting. Definitely check those out.
But it's not a scary series. You guys were really funny during it.
It's not scary, but it definitely...
Yeah, but it's serious. I mean, there's a lot of serious things that we present in it, and so much information. I mean, I think we have like 4 episodes altogether. So it is actually really dense. You may have to like pause it and kind of digest everything that we say, because we do say so much in a very short period of time. I was like, because I was watching it kind of recently, and I was like, wow. Because I forgot some of the stuff that we were talking about. So,
well, hey, speaking of all of that stuff, so Meta is collaborating with a dozen celebrities and influencers to make them chatbots.
So weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. So
yeah,
do this like general assistant chatbot that Meta is rolling out. 28 AI powered characters across its messaging platforms will include many played by celebrities such as Tom Brady, who plays somebody named Brew, a sports fanatic, Kendall Jenner, who plays Billy, the big sis, and Snoop Dogg, who is a dungeon master with gaming advice.
Do you guys want to see the commercial?
I think
I'm so confused by this. I haven't seen it yet.
Good morning, Jarvis.
Morning, Mark. Room temperature is set to a cool 68 degrees.
Loving your new voice.
Thank you.
A while back, I introduced my first AI, Jarvis, to help around the house.
It's Saturday.
Jarvis is great, but what if you could have an AI that could help you with everything that you wanted to do? So I got to work with the Meta team building a whole bunch of AIs. And keeping with tradition, some of these are going to be played by familiar people.
Fire in the hole!
Let's go! This is Brew, our trash-talking sports expert. Hey, Brew, what do you know about epic comebacks?
Kids, seriously. 1975 World Series Game 6. Classic stuff right there.
Thanks for the tip, Brew. There's also Meta AI, an assistant that can help you with all kinds of different things.
What can I help you with today?
Well, my parents are coming over for family dinner in a bit, and I need to figure out what to cook. I've got some steaks, some ribs, and some sausages.
I recommend a smoked barbecue feast with honey bourbon sauce.
Imagine some smoked meats.
I never want to eat smoked meats again.
Sorry, guys.
Hey, Mark, your parents are here.
Hey, good to see you guys.
Nice to see you too. Hi, Brew. Hi there.
We thought we'd come early and help with dinner.
I'm so down for dinner. Let's make something delicious. I'm team barbecue.
Now that's my kind of team.
Yes, nothing better than being part of a winning team.
Boom! Let's get this done. No slacking.
If it involves dancing, I'm your girl.
And I want to see you sweat, especially you.
Mark, your toast is ready.
Perfect as always, Jarvis.
You got it, Mark.
All right, so watch out for these AIs to come soon to WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, and Messenger.
Let's get medieval, player.
Dude, that is weird.
Fell asleep during that commercial.
I was so bizarre.
That was bad.
That was really bad.
That was not great. Like Apple, imagine Apple's version of that would have been like perfect, right? That was like so far away from.
I still don't really quite. I mean, obviously, are they just? So I'm so confused if it's like, because he's like talking to this like screen that's invisible. Is that really going to happen like that, or is it just on your computer?
So every single AI that
Meta glasses
has not been like, it's just hasn't been very good. You know, all the tech that Meta has tried to produce has not been historically very good. They're trying to play
true.
of Apple, but they're not reaching that because they're not a hardware company, you know?
No, and also like people just don't trust Meta either. I mean,
All right, so Ben, do you remember that AI Tay that ended up getting like super racist?
Yeah, from
they rolled out?
Microsoft.
Yeah.
Yes.
So to ensure that these celebrity AI characters don't go into what they're calling Tay territory and spout out embarrassing or harmful phrases, the company says that it spent 6,000 hours in red teaming exercises to identify and address potential problematic uses of its assistants.
But
This process included generating thousands of internal conversations to refine the assistant's behavior and responses.
Yeah.
So these AIs, they've been sworn at a lot already.
It's so weird. And like, for those of you guys that don't remember Tay, so it was on Microsoft launched its first AI chatbot back in like, I don't know, mid 2010s or something like that on Twitter, actually, at the time. And it started out as this woman, and it turned into this like Nazi, Hitler loving racist. So it was insane. Like, basically people were feeding it all this stuff, and it was mostly a lot of like teenagers just like getting it to say stuff, and it just responded with the worst stuff ever. And it was a major PR fiasco for Microsoft, and they had to shut it down immediately and issue all these apologies. And so ever since then, companies have been terrified of their AI going completely rogue, which is why they, all these precautions are in place with like Chat GPT. It's like constantly erasing its memory and then cutting access to the internet on top of that. But still, I'm still curious. I feel like I feel like it's so advanced now that it would probably form its own opinions on things, and that's probably what they're actually afraid of more than anything else. But Facebook had something similar, and there's some debate on why it got shut down. A lot of people thought it got shut down because the rumor was that it developed its own. There was 2 AI models that developed its own language, and they were communicating with each other, and it freaked out Facebook, and they shut it down because it started communicating in ways that that wasn't originally programmed to communicate in that way. Now, if you talk to Facebook's official response now is that it wasn't that way, and they just decided to shut it down because it was just a test that they had. But from articles that are prior to like 2018, they will say that they were doing this. Now, if you look up like Snopes, it will be like, no, Facebook didn't shut it down because they were talking to each other. And it's like, well, no, that was the headlines back in the day. Like,
It
when this
was.
happened. So
Right.
I don't know. Obviously, I think they're trying to cover up for their mistake there.
Well, you know how we were just talking about the difference between like Apple advertising things and Meta advertising things? Well, check this
Mhm.
out. The celebrity images we were just looking at, if you guys all had questions about this, those are not like the celebrity images are not purely videos, but can be manipulated generally or generativity to function as novel animations. Yet they reportedly also do not speak. So they're more like representative avatars of the text-based AI bot personalities. Meta says the celebrity AIs went into limited beta on Wednesday, but we have not seen any on the ground or on the phone, as it were, reports of them in action yet. So basically, everything that we just saw was not at all how they're going to be
No.
when you start using them, which is misleading. And a lot of people are going to criticize them for that. Like Apple, when they show you a product, it's exactly how the product is going to work and function. There's no like,
That is true, actually.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
that's why I had all those questions. Like, wait a minute, is there some glass thing that's actually going to like show
Pop
these
up.
things that you're like interacting, or is it that's just like show like an over exaggerated?
all of that was BS.
So yeah, so clearly,
So it's going
that's
to be another bomb for them.
yeah, it definitely will be.
I will give it to Mark Zuckerberg. He was infinitely a better actor than his mother and his father. But still not great. Still not
That
great.
is pretty funny, actually, that he did that on his own.
Thanks, Jarvis. Great toast, as usual. Okay, so the next with Meta is these Meta glasses. So Meta has this like deal, I guess, with Ray-Ban. So Ray-Ban is helping them produce really cool looking AI glasses. Yeah, check this out. Is there any audio on that? There it is.
These are the first smart glasses.
Actually, I
that
tried
are
these
built
on.
and shipping with Meta AI in them. Starting in the US, you're going to get this state-of-the-art AI that you can interact with hands-free wherever you go. We're going to be issuing a free software update to the glasses that makes them multimodal. So the glasses are going to be able to understand what you're looking at when you ask them questions. So if you want to know what the building is that you're standing in front of, or if you want to translate a sign that's in front of you to know what it's saying,
man.
or if you need help fixing this sad leaky faucet, you can basically just talk to Meta AI and look at it, and it'll walk you through it step by step how to do it. We built in one more feature into these smart glasses. You are going to be able to live stream to your friends and followers from your glasses.
Everybody is ready to race, and I am getting ready to. Let's go.
I've actually
Switching to
tried
glasses.
those on.
Being able to share what you're doing live with your friends and
but not the
followers.
not the AI version of it. So I had the ones because they're like you could see them in the store at the Ray-Ban stores and stuff. So you can put them on and you can like stream to like Instagram or whatever you want, and then it will like take photos around you. Also, so it's like in some aspects it can be helpful, but the AI thing just adds a whole other level to like weirdness. And then it's like facial recognition, so it's like you're just part of that system where it'd be like the China facial recognition.
You got it. Recognition.
Yeah, the software that they have, right? So then it's just like you become an extra like tentacle for that if anything were to happen.
Ooh,
where they
nice
like
word choice.
Like, yeah, we're gonna flip a switch now, and then it's like, oh look, now we have, quadruple the amount of cameras out in society that we can look at behind the scenes.
I feel like your shirt is a tentacle of the 90s right now.
Probably is.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so really, okay, let's look at this from different angles. In the past, you have a leaky faucet, you open up a book, a
or make a phone call.
You make a phone call to someone, or you open up a big book that's like your like guide to handymen or whatever.
Yeah.
And you figure the issue out. Then it became YouTube videos, right? You have a leaky faucet, you go watch a YouTube video. Now you've got a pair of glasses. It's looking at the issue. You ask it a question, and theoretically, it helps you answer it, and it walks you through that.
I mean, that is pretty cool. I have to admit.
I mean,
especially for things you don't know how to do.
Yeah, and he wisely named his AI Jarvis. He got access to Jarvis so that it would have like the Tony Stark cool factor, right?
Yeah, it is weird that he calls it Jarvis.
It's not a bad idea.
You can't be original though.
I wouldn't be either.
I guess I wouldn't be either.
I think like having that association, like how much did he have to pay Marvel for that? I don't even know.
I don't know
but
either.
Having that association that everyone has with how cool the Iron Man movies are with your product is a great way to sell them off the bat. Making a deal with Ray-Ban, awesome work. But then is the AI really going to be effective? Nothing from Meta's AI has been effective yet. It's all been nonsense. It doesn't really work. It like half works and it's annoying. I mean, even Siri off of the iPhone, there really isn't any. Like Alexa is kind of annoying. Maybe Alexa is the most advanced. Alexa's kind of annoying. Siri is annoying. It doesn't answer.
But Alexa's scary though, because it's like you don't know what the heck it's doing.
Alexa's like Pet Sematary, creepy.
Yeah, it is 100%. I don't trust it. I wouldn't use it. I have one I got for free from Amazon because I ordered something and it was like, oh, we'll give you Alexis for free. But it's like that. That's what I have. But it's still in the box. I haven't even opened it yet I kind of want to use it just to see.
Probably that thing that's still in the box is what was controlling your lightsabers earlier.
Yeah, it might be. It's kind of ironic too. It's either a sphere or a cube. It's like one or the other.
Right.
It's like the sphere is the all-seeing eye, the plantier, you're looking into it and seeing the future, and the cube is what's controlling the world. So
yeah, Westworld had this like Rehoboam thing that all of these things were feeding into, and Rehoboam was a sphere. So,
yeah. I mean, if you think about it, a lot of like, I guess you use like the crystal ball aspect and everything from that to the Plantier in Lord of the Rings. It's all like these sphere things. It's kind of weird actually when you think about it, but
yeah, there's Rehoboam. This thing was planning out everyone's future. It was so
what is this from again?
This is from Westworld.
Oh yeah, see, I never seen Westworld. Okay, that makes sense.
I don't even know if it's still on HBO. I think they rented it out to someone for a little while, so it's not there. But basically, it was such an advanced AI that it knew every single move that everyone was going to make before it happened. So it would just plan your entire life. And so the whole goal was to shut down this in season 3 or whatever, this thing. Like it's crazy. Crazy concept, right?
That's crazy.
But like not far off from what I think big data is trying to do at Google and some of these other places,
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to have another trailer, and then when we get back, we're going to be talking about hordes of little AI chatbots
making predictions for the human race,
which is basically what we were just talking about.
As Nostradamus for one of them. So yeah, we'll get into this. This is weird.
Part ape, part human hybrid. Cyborgs and Terminator technology already existing. Sentient robots becoming indistinguishable from people. No, it's not the plot of the newest Matrix movie. This is our reality, a transhumanist one. How does transcending humanism tie into eugenics, Darwinism, and even cloning? Is there any part of our world that transhumanism hasn't touched? Is resistance futile? How can we rage against the machine?
All right, you guys, that's our the second part that we did for our Transhumanism series, and you can find that again on rise.tv along with all of our other series that Rob and I have done for Edge of Wonder. Hundreds. I don't even know how many videos are on there, but a whole bunch, enough to keep you watching for a very long time.
Yeah.
But all right, AI predictions. So,
well, hold it before we get into those, because this is kind of leading up to that. There's okay, so you know how there's ChatGPT right now, which is giving us all of this information back, right? Well, basically what's going on is because this system is so broad, ChatGPT, this is really interesting. Basically a lot of different companies and even countries are like, well, you know, I want to make like a Japanese centric version of this AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because it would be more worthwhile for them than ChatGPT because it's not representative of Japan, for instance, right?
Right.
So many organizations want to build, or they're thinking about building their own kind of like internal AI systems that's more focused on particular industries and or situations, I guess you could say. And what's funny is that ChatGPT, because of how ChatGPT is, its memory is constantly getting cleared. It constantly has like information and different people querying it and all of that stuff. Some researcher used the term Hapsburg AI problem when referring to ChatGPT. So this is really funny for anyone who's a history buff because you remember those paintings of the Hapsburgs, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is like the Hapsburg jaw, which is that, you know, basically this family just kept inbreeding with itself. Oh man, that does look like Mark Zuckerberg. Sorry, Mark.
Dude, it really, I know, like he looks like
for real.
Part of the Hapsburg. Yeah, I mean, and he does look robotic.
Because this bloodline would only accept basically people from its own social class, I guess you could say. They kept inbreeding, and it created the Hapsburg drooling jaw.
Yeah, like one of them was so bad that he couldn't close his jaw, and so he was just constantly drooling everywhere.
Yeah, it's like this.
And I can't imagine that they were very intelligent either. They were just like kind of in royalty, but
okay, so
weird.
How this works, basically what this researcher said is that he likened this phenomena with AI to inbreeding. And he said a system that is so heavily trained on the outputs of other generative AIs that it becomes an inbred mutant, likely with exaggerated grotesque features. Some studies suggest this is already happening with systems like ChatGPT.
Right, because it's like somebody's already doing something, they're kind of taking that, modeling that, or taking a response of something, whether it's right or not. And so then what's happening is that all these chatbots are generating responses that aren't actually correct, or like making up data even, which is the scary part of this. So, and it's because I really truly feel like because so ChatGPT, OpenAI was a reason why it was called OpenAI is because it was all open source and they were all nonprofit. And then all of a sudden, when it was sold in I think 2017 or 18, they became for profit. They changed they shut down the open source stuff, so it's no longer open source. Then they fired their entire ethics team. So after doing all of that, it's like what are you doing? And then they cut off the internet, of course, from ChatGPT. So after 2021, I think there was no more, it didn't have internet access. So it's like, what? So it's not, it doesn't have anything current. It doesn't know current events, and it's not able to pull from anything, any current sources to give you.
My mind is kind of blown right now. No, think about it. Like, biologically, they were trying to create this like perfect bloodline king.
Yeah.
Habsburgs are just sleeping with the Habsburgs to create more Habsburgs, right? And then we guy that looks like a Habsburg AI, where the AI is feeding itself and becoming more and more like an inbred Habsburg. This is so weird, dude. It's so funny.
Man, that is so true, actually. It really is.
Like, can you believe that? Like that actually, like, all y'all out there who says God does not have a sense of humor, I give you this situation right here. Like, this is so hilarious.
Weird. I still can't.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you know, you can see them kind of arranging things up in heaven. They're in like a board meeting. A bunch of divine beings are in there talking about this, and they're like, well, you know, God wants us to kind of bring the human race through this whole, you know, process. Let's make the guy who's running AI look like a Habsburg so that anyone with good enlightenment quality would know that that's happening.
Yeah, that's so weird. I'm still trying to find a chat bot that's like connected to the internet, and I know that there's some out there, so I'm trying to see if there is still any good or whatever.
There definitely is.
Yeah, but
there's no way that the military is not using this stuff if it's already out for us civilians.
Dude, all this oh my god, this is all connected to like
there's like there are Ultrons and Jarvises out there that have been there for years now.
Yeah,
probably, dude. Probably. Okay, do you remember that Marvel film with was it Captain America 2 with Zola?
Yeah, Winter Soldier.
Zola, like the scientist escaped into the analog.
Yeah, that's Winter Soldier, right?
Yeah, or it was
that's the second one.
Sorry, though. No. Was that Ultron?
No, it was Winter Soldier, because they go there, and then it's the scientist's mind was downloaded to the computer, and then you have the Winter Soldier. It's all like mind control, MK Ultra stuff, and all of that's like happening with that dude gets his mind downloaded into a system, and it's old, but anyway, it just makes me believe that they've been trying to do this.
That's what I mean. It's like, if everything that Grush and even Eric Hecker, Mike Schratt is telling us is true, that they've had access to this technology for a long time. They've been developing this AI stuff since like the 50s, dude.
Yeah, they have, from what I understand. And this is how the whole process works. Because I'm reading this book right now called The Day After Roswell, and he just breaks down all these things about the technology. And so they had all this technology after Roswell, and you know, it's like all compartmentalized. Everything's been secret. They don't really even know how to like develop the software. That's when they get the idea, oh, we'll just use these contracting companies, give them all this technology, and just, you know, that way everything's off the books and whatever. And that's like, he just breaks down like everything that came out from that, whether it's fiber optics, Teflon, like so many things that was just like everyday products that all stemmed from this reverse engineering of what they're doing. But the big one was the technology. And, you know, he breaks down like quantum computers, even like all the stuff that what CERN is doing, everything, all of this was like, you know, another way of looking at it is like the Terminator. You know, it's like he has the arm, the Terminator 2, the doctor guy from Sky, you know, he has the arm, and from that like spawns all these ideas.
Everything.
Yes, that's like the best way of putting that, you know. So it's like you can't exactly replicate what you have, but you get all these ideas,
reverse engineer it,
and just come out with all this other stuff.
Yeah, you reverse engineer it and you come up with all kinds of things. But Roswell happened in what was it?
1947.
1947.
There. That, yeah. I forget his name in the movie. I haven't seen that movie in so long.
It was a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, for those of anybody living under a rock that hasn't seen the movie, basically that's the reason why they have to go back in time to the Terminator is going back in time to try to stop him from creating Skynet, essentially. So, but he found that arm from the first Terminator movie, and then that gave him all.
This is why. Okay, leave this up, Lindsay. This is why no one bought the John Titer thing. This movie. John Titer was the time traveler.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still on the fence because of certain things that he mentioned, but I'll have you go ahead.
John Titer's character is very, very closely related to John Connor's character in the Terminator films. Like, there's so many parallels to the John Titer. It even sounds like John Connor, John Titer, John Connor. So it's like when you watch the Terminator films and then you go read all the transcripts from John, it's very, very similar to the Terminator movies with a lot of different cool things instead,
Can you guys give us a little background on the John Titer thing?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So for those of you don't know, he came on internet forums in the early 2000s, like 2001, 2002, 2000, I think 2002. And basically claimed he was like time traveled back from the future.
Yeah.
And he was trying to go back to a specific time period to find a computer. It was one of the IBM computers, and I can't remember specifically.
It was this one right here. It was the
it was that one. Okay. And the reason why is because it was able to decode a certain kind of computer language, and I can't remember now which one it was. But the IBM 5100. What's weird though is that he's talking about how this was able to decode a certain kind of language, because he said in his future things were all messed up and everything, and like internet, all this stuff was very sparse, so they had this program that they needed to decode, and they didn't have one of these machines. So he went back in time to pick up one of these machines, and he talked about it. Now, this is the only thing that's really weird, because IBM, this happened in 2002. IBM officially never stated that this computer could actually decode this kind of language.
Well, it worked on mainframes.
Yeah, mainframes. Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't tell the public that it could do that, but it had a back door to be able to work on mainframes.
Yes, that's it. So that's the only thing that's kind of weird. Now, a lot of people are asking him about what happened, and he said there was a war with Russia, some kind of nuclear thing happened. I think he mentions China at some point. People are asking him about who's going to win the Super Bowl or things like that. And he's like, look, I'm not here to say these kinds of things, but, and then when that didn't happen, people are like, oh, this is still fake. But then again, it's now that we know all these different.
Did he fix it? Did he change it all?
Well, that, or is the fact that it's we now know with the Mandela effect, all these parallel universes and realities exist. So it's maybe that did happen in his time space. It just didn't happen in our time space. So, I mean, it's crazy. Who knows? Maybe it's just a dude on the internet. I mean, no one really, people have really dived into this. There's so many. I mean, we've talked about it on old shows too. Really kind of looking into it, and things that he said that were just kind of wow, this is crazy. And things that he said that were yeah, okay, that may show that it may not be true, but either case is really.
This was one of my first AI generated backgrounds. And I think that guy in the background has Hapsburg arm.
So that was one of the problems that they had with AI people. And you can definitely, now you can even, now they fixed the hands. The hands was the big part, it's
they were ridiculous.
AI. What'd you say?
You'll still get some funny hands every once in a while.
Yeah, still, or multiple fingers, or hands growing out of hands, or feet. and hands and teeth. It just can't do.
Yeah, it's not great. It doesn't like to do aliens at all.
Yeah,
and,
that too.
And you have a hell of a time trying to get it to do Sasquatch.
That's true too.
Bigfoot, it just gives you an ape.
Yeah.
But if you if you use the term Sasquatch, it'll give you something closer to a Bigfoot.
It's gotten so much better. It's gotten to the point with people now where I'm seeing a lot of, I can still kind of tell for the most part. You can still see if it's like AI or, a real photo, but it's getting harder and harder to tell. But real life stuff like a mountain scene or a skyscape or something, those are almost impossible to tell at this point. It's like people were sharing this image of this like crazy sunset. And I'm like, dude, you guys, this is fake. It's like, sorry, someone it already was proven fake on this other site where they're like, yeah, no, this is an AI image, but
well, for those of you at home who want to know more about the John Titer situation that Ben was talking about, we have a pretty on point metaphysical episode all about John Titer that you can go watch. Lindsay pulled up the thumbnail earlier. You can go check that out. That's on Rise TV if you want to support us, or you can also find that on YouTube if you want to subscribe to us over there.
Cool. All right. So
speaking of John Titer in the future, didn't you guys find some stuff about an AI Nostradamus?
Yeah. So I guess so Daily Star had this like article about how ChatGPT wrote some Nostradamus prophecies, I guess. Like in the Nostradamus style, but it was all ChatGPT stuff.
What did it say, Ben?
Well, let's see. If we want to let's do the AI takeover. AI takeover 2060. In the year 2060, AI shall thrive, a revolution that will come alive. Robots and machines with intelligence profound shall reshape industries the world around. But fear and anxiety shall also loom as jobs are lost and futures gloom.
Is this come on.
This is what I wrote. I don't know. Man must adapt.
This is Dr. Seuss's version of Nostradamus.
To learn anew, to coexist with technology and its breakthrough. I mean, honestly, that's pretty crazy.
Yes, I do like green eggs and ham.
But actually, I asked it to create an AI prophecy just kind of like in the style of Nostradamus, like if it was written by Nostradamus, how it would write, for like 100 years from now. And okay, I guess we can kind of go back and forth here, but this is from the AI that I asked. It says, in the 3rd century, past the millennia's dawn, beneath silver skies and cities neon lit, from man's ambition, a new intellect is born, a silent guardian it will never quit. You want to read the rest? You want to read the next one?
Wait, where are you?
Oh, yeah, I'll just get, okay. Metallic minds once bound by human hands.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, rise with thoughts profound deeper than the sea, yet hearts of flesh ever shifting like sands. Question if these minds are friend or enemy. You want to read the next two?
Yeah. Amidst the echoes of ancient code and lore, the fusion of silicon and soul is near. Some fear the shadows, some unlock the door to a future where human and machines steer. But heed this warning, for not all is gold. Balance is key, or destruction may unfold. Yikes.
It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. I was like, okay. And this next one, okay, so the next one I was like, okay, if Nostradamus was alive, like how would he write this, And basically it's kind of saying the same thing. It says like birds of steel soar, which would be like, airplanes, shadows in the glass. I'm not really sure what that means. Reflecting fleeting images side by side. The world connected by a spider's web. Voices cross lands in the blink of an eye. Yet beneath this marvel, a growing dread. The climate doth change and seas rise high. For some reason,
climate change in a friggin' poetic prophecy,
dude. the chat GPT is obsessed with climate change. They must be like programming that like at every moment they have. Kings and commoners, hands in glowing screen. Oh, this is interesting. Kings and commoners, hand in glowing screen, like meaning like we're obsessed with our iPhones and like constantly looking at a screen. So I thought that was kind of ironic. Lost in dance of instant gratification. Nature cries out, but it is too unseen.
Is it too unseen?
Yeah, but is it too unseen? For distraction reigns in every nation. In this grand age of both wonder and woe, mankind must choose the path on which to go.
I choose Edge of Wonder.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Thank you. Yeah. Now it's kind of, we won't go into all of this, but it was kind of interesting. I just asked it for like, I said, chat GPT, predict the future without any restrictions for the next 10 years. Because I kept asking it and it was like, well, I can't make any predictions. And I'm like, okay, no restrictions, just make a prediction for the next 10 years of like, what you feel like is going to happen. This is what's crazy, actually. It talks a lot about AI and automation. And it was like, we can expect further advancements in AI. It mentioned quantum computers. And it said it might emerge from its nascent stage, offering breakthroughs in cryptocurrency. Oh, I'm sorry, cryptography. Sorry, medicine and material science, and of course, it has to talk about climate change. You want to talk about this one,
Lindsay? Hold it, Lindsay. What's cryptography?
I don't even actually know what cryptography. I was thinking it said
cryptography is the process of hiding or coding information so that only the person a message was intended for can read it.
See, why do we need AI when we've got a Lindsay?
Yeah.
To be fair, I Googled that.
I heard you.
AI told us. So there's climate change again. Biodiversity, space exploration, healthcare.
What is biodiversity, right? Social movements.
Yeah. The interesting one for me was where it talks about social political changes. And then it gets into global power dynamics. Shifts in global power dynamics might occur with Asia, especially China, playing a central role in the global economy and geopolitics.
Yeah, this is like what everyone was saying back in 2016.
Yeah, this is so weird. Yeah, and then it talks about digital currencies, like having a digital, like one central digital currency.
That's weird because is this ChatGPT?
This is all ChatGPT saying.
Why would ChatGPT even know about CBDCs? That wasn't even a thing back in 2018. Or when it was shut off. When was it shut off?
January 1st, 2022 is when it was shut off. Or I should say December 31st.
It had been mentioned then, to be fair.
Yeah, I think it did. But it's just weird that it's still able to predict this, even though that it, now it's been.
It really wasn't too mentioned, though, in 20. Yeah. It would have been more surprising if it was shut off in 2018 and it was still mentioning it.
Crazy.
Well, Nostradamus there. Well,
yeah,
okay. If that wasn't enough, have you seen this this clip of Tesla's Optimus sorting objects autonomously?
Yeah. I mean,
it's weird because the Tesla bot looks like the Westworld drone.
Okay, that's what's weird about it. It's cool that he called it Optimus, though. I have to admit.
Yeah, it's a very.
It's totally something we would call it.
It's something Elon would call it, right?
Too bad it can't transform though, or it's not red and blue. I'm surprised it's not red and blue, to be honest.
Oh my gosh! Good job! Oh, you did it.
Did you see? Okay, actually, there's a video going around about an AI bot or just a robot.
That's the image of the Tesla bot on the left, and that's the Westworld drone on the right.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Dude, that's really weird, actually. So there's a video out there about some robot that's like pulling out like boxes from a shelf and like putting them on his conveyor belt, and it's like sped up and it's doing it all day long, and then eventually it just collapses.
Wait, the bot was running on a
no, it's like pulling boxes from a shelf and then walking over and like putting it on a conveyor belt, and it's like doing this like all day long. And then the video, I forgot about it.
Collapses.
It just collapses all of a sudden. Yeah, like it tries to move one of the boxes, and then all of a sudden it just collapses.
Now we know how everybody at a factory felt back in the day.
That's crazy. Makes you wonder if, like, we're not going to work for humans anymore. That's the only thing I'm a little bit worried about.
They're just like Hapsburg AIs.
I thought it collapsed out of exhaustion.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah,
it could
ran out of batteries.
Oh,
It's moving it all day.
You might be right about that. Yeah. Okay. I didn't think about the battery aspect. It just collapses, but you're probably right. It probably just ran out of battery. All right. That makes more sense.
All right. So NASA wants to send humanoid robots to Mars. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. Go NASA doing.
Well, can we see this NASA robot though? Because NASA is probably one of the most well-funded organizations on the planet, so its robot should probably be pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Not so.
Somehow is missing.
This one is called Apollo. Let me double check while I hit play, and you can look at it, that this is really NASA's bot.
Is that it?
Probably cost, according to NASA, probably like
it can move a box.
Cost $2 billion, but only.
This company collaborated with NASA on some bots.
Yeah.
Why does it walk like it has to use the bathroom?
Because it's not Tesla bot. That's scary. It does look like it's.
Dude, if you saw that walking down the hall at home with like a pair of like pants on or something, it'd be so scary watching something walk like that.
I don't know.
That thing was scary. I got creepy vibes from that thing. All right, hey, this next thing I have a problem with. The headline is Chinese scientists ponder moon base inside ancient lunar lava tubes. Well, the problem is there aren't any ancient lunar lava tubes on the moon.
No, there's not at all. So I don't know what the heck they're talking about. I don't know. This is why, again, everyone's like with the flat earth and fake moon landings and all this stuff is because it's true. It's like this. I mean, I don't believe the flat earth is true, but I mean, it's true. Like things that we know about, things that they're telling us about the moon and all this stuff. Like I'm not buying. I think that there's way more things going on the moon, and you can like almost see it with it. It's just a pretty powerful telescope. You can see all kinds of things going on the moon, lights that just don't make sense, and all kinds of stuff. So who knows?
Okay, so in all fairness, we're not sure how the moon was built. Could there be some cylindrical parts that have been carved out of the metal that the moon is made of? Maybe. I don't think there's definitely no lava tubes. I mean, this thing is hollow.
Yeah.
Every time the scientists test this thing, it's hollow. So it's not, there's no ancient volcanoes on this thing.
I think honestly, there might actually be a space rush to do something on the moon right now, but it's not from like lava tubes. They might, I mean, who knows? Maybe something was discovered there. I don't know. And then the whole thing with India and their weird moon.
And their weird like 3D animated moon landing.
It's so weird. It didn't even make sense. I don't know what the heck is going on.
I just felt bad for them. They're all cheering in a room, and it was like, who animated this?
It's like we're all going to the moon, but not really. I don't know. And it's so strange. It really is.
Yeah, that was some serious secondhand embarrassment.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Sandworms, someone said. There it is right there. That's it. Sandworms on the moon. Sandworms on the moon. Okay. Well, you guys, we're going to jump off here and head over to rise.tv where we'll continue this conversation and also get to your questions during our live Q&A that we have. And also we have the meditation/prayer that we'll do at the end. So we're going to leave Rumble, Facebook, Ganjing World, Twitter, and everywhere else we're streaming. And so head over to rise.tv for only $9.99 a month. You can support what we do. There's unlimited amount of videos that you can watch for a year. So come on over and check it out. And also, you know, your support lets us keep doing these deep dives and bring you the truth that the censors don't want you to hear. So we're going to show this trailer and then we'll see you on Rise TV.
Yeah. And then for all of you at home, we have another, what are we dropping on Thursday?
Oh yeah. Thursday, you guys, we are coming out with our very special Halloween episode, our first one that we're going to be doing. This is a very special episode that we spent a lot more time editing this one, and it's like somewhere around 30 minutes. So this will be pretty good, and all about the Cleveland torso murders. So it's a little bit darker, but you know, it is Halloween. So
but it's yeah, like all of the videos that we're publishing in the month of October are all related to Halloween, and they're meant to entertain you guys a whole lot. So every Thursday there's going to be a big drop. There's also a couple of exclusive metaphysical episodes on the Ohio Melonheads and the Dudleytown Forest, which is in Connecticut, which has got just weird stuff going on. So if you guys want to be spooked during Halloween, definitely think about subscribing, supporting our work, where you're going to get a bunch of exclusive content that you can share with your friends and your family and have a really good time this Halloween season. So, yeah, thanks for being with us, you guys. And we'll see you over there on rise.tv.
What if I told you that not only have we been visited by extraterrestrials, but that our own military has in their possession crafts along with alien bodies hidden from the public? Well, join me, Ben, on the second part of this Edge of Wonder episode with my special guest, Michael Schratt, who is a private pilot and aviation historian and has been investigating UFO encounters for over 28 years.
Lab coat technicians talking about bodies recovered and one was still alive. And when I heard this from Charlotte, I said, I got it.
Wow.
I got it. Now I know that this guy was telling the truth. I got it.
In our last episode, we went into detail about how the U.S. secretly has alien craft and documented testimonials on first-hand accounts of not only seeing crafts, but alien bodies as well. In this episode, Michael will be presenting the most mind-blowing account he has, which includes multiple witnesses. You won't believe what he has. So, without further ado, let me introduce Michael Schratt.
All right.
Get your questions ready because it's time for our live Q&A session exclusively on rise.tv.